I'm not necessarily gonna lie. We've been doing this for damn near 4 years right now, and within the 4 years, we have uploaded 931 videos, 32 including this one. And when it comes down to things, I think I finally hit the point where it's just like I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm burned out, but I would say that I kind of just really hate this very slow pace, needle moving, not so much in life passing me by in some shape or form, kind of like growth for the channel a little bit. And it's. I actually don't know how to explain this. This just feels weird, I guess. Because at the same time, it's like, I don't hate what we're doing, obviously. I don't hate the channel or anything of the uploads and stuff like that, right? I don't hate any of it, but it's just like, man, the fight to push to the top and stuff like that is really starting to get to me at this point. Not even like in a joking ass way, but it's just like dead ass is just starting to get to me to the point I don't even feel like really uploading a lot, right? Because I'm so usually so ready to be like, all right, let's think about some interesting talking points and things like that. But honestly, making like long videos to do talking points on kind of doesn't really hit with me, honestly. Like, and I mean like stuff like, oh, let's like think deeply about a certain topic, or let's talk about a certain piece of news that kind of happens, and things like that. And that kind of just doesn't necessarily sit well with me, really, too damn much, because it's just like I kind of don't really care too much to be doing all that. Do not get me wrong. I like to do these talking points to make sure that my audience is smart. That they look at things at all angles and not just at a specific biased angle like everybody else does, right? But at the end of all things, when you bring up a lot of talking points, especially a lot of ones that's of interest, that can be of interest, and there's still some I haven't done, but a lot of it is already like, okay, how many times have we done this before? How many times has people thought, oh, that's a good point, but nothing really goes past that? It just kind of feels like, as much as I've been uploading on this channel, it doesn't feel like in the grand scheme of things it has contributed to practically anything, which is why I've been kind of more so pretty much up and ready to do like maybe like shorter videos and things like that. But even though I know that doesn't really help in the grand scheme of things either, because you would obviously need 8 minutes to make what, like 10 minutes to get like monetization to get going. But even then, I don't really care for that either at this point. It just doesn't feel like something that's what I want to work for, right? So at this point, I just don't know what I necessarily want. Like I said, I still want to be a content creator. It's still the thing. But how do things kind of go from this point, right? I know I asked you guys like plenty of times too, like what type of content would you like to see, or if there is anything that needs to be changed, what would it be, and things like that. But a lot of y'all are pretty okay with what the channel is. People like when I'm talking about Lolly and stuff like that, and go deeper into the history of it and the anime subjects of things, which that's cool. And some people like the Kokatsu story that we do, and some people just like the memes and stuff like that, and that's fine. And if you just like that, then okay, cool. But at the same time, for me though, it doesn't feel like the channel is missing something, but it just feels like it's not necessarily reaching out to the people that it should, right? Because when I was saying back then, like a lot of times that the channel is missing something, I feel like Kokatsu story and things like waifu material and things like artist appreciation kind of fill out this channel to give it enough personality to be cool in its own way. And I look forward to making each and every one of those videos of waifu material or Kokatsu story or things like that. But I just don't necessarily know exactly what else is there. Or maybe that's all I really should be just uploading, this waifu material, Kakatsu story, and artist appreciation when there's a good artist that knows how to draw and do things uniquely and stuff like that, right? Maybe I should do something like that and just keep it to that extent, but everything else I kind of just don't really kind of care for, unless there's something major and I'm just like, oh, I gotta talk about this because this is actually exciting for me, right? Because even with certain things, even when I try to do something different, like let's say the 3 million HP boss fight from Genshin that I recently uploaded, like what, 2 days ago, I ended up making that shit and it was actually really fun to make. I actually enjoyed making the hell of it. If being honest, I would say this is my favorite edited video I ever done. But if I'm being honest, it didn't really get a lot of people to come through and watch and attention. And I know some of y'all don't really play Genshin like that, right? And I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, damn, kind of wish just did more at least. But at the end of all things, just didn't do that. So I kind of just feel like I'm in a very weird and difficult position of like content and stuff. I don't think it's the content that's the problem though. I just don't necessarily know where the people is at or what they're mainly is focusing on or how to draw people's attention. If I can just get that, I would be more up and ready to upload. Like if we were to get to 10k subscribers like the goal was this year, I would be up and ready to just start back uploading without any type of complaints like that, right? At least on the YouTube side of things. But I wouldn't have any type of complaints. But when it comes down to things, we just don't have that. And don't get me wrong, each day has been growing the channel with 1 subscriber or so every single day and whatever. But at the very same time, it doesn't necessarily like, pick up the pace. It just stays in the same position. Not because of the content. I don't even think it's because of the content I make, right? I can get maybe somebody in like a little uppity about the lolly thing or whatever. And granted, I don't really be stressing out that much. But when it comes down to things, I don't necessarily feel like it's the content. I just feel like it's just not, I'm not necessarily reaching the right people. Or at least reaching a wider net of people, honestly. And I don't necessarily know how to do so, so that's kind of like another big thing that is the giant factor in all this stuff, right? I love the content that I do. I absolutely do. It's fun and I enjoy making it, and I wouldn't have been doing it for just about 4 years at this point. But at this point, it's just like we keep going in this circle and it doesn't feel like anything is growing or going anywhere or anything like that. And I don't necessarily know what exactly I can do to improve this outside of ask for feedback. And really, you guys have given me tons of feedback, obviously, but I don't necessarily know exactly where to go from point A to point B. If I could stream, honestly, and have like a model and have the space to do what I want to do, then that would probably maybe grow the channel in some shape or form. But I don't have those opportunities. I don't have that money or technology to do anything like that. So at the end of all of it, it's still just like I gotta just try to game the system in the best way possible. Question is how, right? So who really knows how that's gonna go down? But at the end of everything, essentially, I guess I just feel like at a stalemate with this channel, right? Not saying that I don't enjoy what I do, but I'm just ready to kind of just be in the face of a lot of people at this point. I just feel like I'm just ready to just see what other people has in store for us and how many people will join, this channel and see what's going on, because I don't know what else to really kind of do to get out there. Like, even when it comes to collaborations, even with that, it's like, okay, I could probably find somebody to collaborate with, but at the same time, it's like, will that work? I don't necessarily know, So, I don't necessarily know what to do. That's why I'm just gonna basically leave into your hands with the feedback and anything that you possibly could think of that could maybe grow this channel into something bigger. Again, plenty of people say back in our Danganronpa days, we had potential to grow as a channel, and they are right. I can see it, definitely can see it, especially after hitting the partner program and getting that. Yeah, I can definitely see it. But at the end of all things, I don't necessarily know how to increase that potential and to actually hit in the place that we need to. Like I said before, I had a whole vision where I'm actually in the house chilling and I'm going to my computer, and now I feel like I'm stressed without any type of stress or anything like that. I don't feel any type of like, oh, I need money to pay off anything like that or anything like that. I can just sit down, make content, and have fun, right? That's what I've been feeling like I could do with that vision. But if it's going to go at this pace, then who knows how long that will hit or how long that will honestly take. It could take a long ass time. And that's something that, while I can be patient on and I can try to grow and reflect and things like that, at the same time, it's like, okay, it's getting to the point where it's just absolutely annoying, right? It gets absolutely annoying. Like, do you want to see this channel just be still doing the same, type of things and just being with the small amount of people while bitching and complaining about a stupid ass mortgage that really shouldn't be y'all's problem in the first place? No. At the end of all things, we should be having fun. We should be being more engaged with each other. We should be, doing other stuff, essentially. And we should just be having fun on a more higher level. But at the end of all things, it's just not necessarily growing in the way I was hoping it would, or at least growing fast enough in the way I thought it could, right? Even with the memes and even with the shorts and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily be hitting sometimes, especially sometimes I don't even play with the algorithm like that. Sometimes with shorts it be working, sometimes it don't. And oftentimes than not, it really doesn't do a lot of anything outside of a few shorts like the Tatsumaki video and for some reason the Ochaka video where, that was like a thing. But other than that, I don't necessarily get a lot of, anything when it comes to it, like new people at least. So with that being said, I just again kind of leave things into your hands and how you kind of feel about the channel, because I can make all the content I want. I can pretty much say and do whatever the hell I want when it comes to this channel. But if you're not being entertained by it, or you're not necessarily, willing to, I guess, care too much about it, or if nobody's really coming through to really care, then I'm just basically yelling at a brick wall, essentially. So if you do have any ideas of what we could do, or if there is any improvement on what we can go for, or anything like that, please let me know, because I don't have any clue. I'm just going to take a guess at this point, and that's essentially what the channel has been for a very long time, throwing things at a wall and seeing what sticks, and very few things stick, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to leave it up to you in your hands. I would like to have a lot of people within, the 2,000 of you that has subscribed to this channel to kind of come through. Let me know what is something that you would like to see, or if there's any improvements that can be done, or any ideas of how to get more new people to come through, right? I know getting new people can be scary, and sometimes it might, mess with the nice little comment section that we have a lot of times with people, and, maybe a little bit of a flow. But at the same time, I have to kind of grow. It's just the nature of being an influencer. Doesn't mean I'm not going to forget anybody that honestly comes to this conversation, because I enjoy everybody's comments. But when it comes down to things, gotta grow. It's part of the nature of being an influencer and stuff like that. So again, let me know what's going to come through when it comes to the comments. I will say this though, we should be having another Kokatsu story very soon, because I got back into the writing of it again, and I got my element of story running narrative juices going again. So that should be coming up very soon, hopefully. I think I got one more act to write out, and really animate and stuff. So we'll have that going, and it's going to be a bikini contest episode. Well, not an episode, but it's leading up to that, right? And we'll have a voting poll when it comes to, who's gonna win said bikini contest, because I don't want to actually pick who's the winner. I want you guys to pick. So we'll see how that goes. But essentially, that's pretty much all I have for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials. And if you like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.